you first get involved with one championship?
It all started with me becoming the manager here at the hotel that I'm at right now. I'm looking through my emails, then I see one championship. I'm like, oh, it's probably the bank here in the United States, one championship. Then like deeper, I'm like, oh crap, Zen, was Mohammed, Chachi. I'm like, no, this is real.
Wow.
So I run downstairs. I told one of my sales girl, like, hey, you're on this one champ? Yeah, I just booked them. Like, when they come out, call me.
Hello and welcome to the Bout Business Podcast, where we discuss the business side of the fight game. Today's guest is Miguel Garcia. He is a fighter as well as the production manager for Sparta Sports and Entertainment. He also played a pivotal role in One Championship's first U.S.-based event, and it was a pleasure to sit down with him and chat about his experience in the fight game. He has a very unconventional career path and an inspirational story. Please enjoy. How did you get started in martial arts, and what's your martial arts journey been like?
I started in martial arts actually when I was 6 years old. My father was a big Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali fan. And I had a crazy training regimen since I can walk and stuff. So, me and my dad used to spar a lot. It was pretty cool. I've learned Shaolin Kung Fu along the years. I did a lot of boxing, kickboxing. I do jujitsu. I still train now. I'm getting ready to try out for the bare knuckle fights here pretty soon as well in March. They're coming to my gym, so they're gonna do the tryouts there. So there's gonna be a lot of publicity going around with that here pretty soon.
Wow, nice, man. That's cool. Yeah, I guess with the Shaolin Kung Fu, that kind of translates a bit to the bare knuckle side of things. Actually, funny enough, did my first martial art aside from wrestling in high school. I did a year of Shaolin Kung Fu.
Really?
Yeah, pretty random, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. I did a tiger style. What about yourself?
I did everything, man. My teachers or my masters, they were students of Bruce Lee himself.
Wow.
So it was really crazy just to be in that environment. Like, we've done Tai Chi, we've done the tiger style, mantis, everything. I got up to a green belt. I didn't really stay much, because I started following up with boxing since my dad introduced me to it. So I took a lot of that, that's a lot of the Shaolin Kung Fu, and put it into the boxing. And man, it's been a crazy journey since then.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, some of the guys at the MMA gyms, they tease me and stuff that I did that when I tell them, but I don't care. I think it was cool. And when I first got into martial arts, I'm still really unflexible, but that was always a issue for me. And they really put a focus on stretching and stuff, which was good. And it's cool I was a bit of a kind of Bruce Lee nerd, watching all the old Kung Fu movies and all that. So I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's awesome to hear. So you've been working with Sparta for since July, I believe, right? How did that come to be, and how's that been so far?
So at first, I actually started fighting for Sparta back in 2012, and and I met Jeff. He's a great guy. He's the owner of Sparta.
Yep.
I just did a couple fights, and then after I joined in with ONE FC, he looked at me like, "Hey, do you want to still fight, or can you help me with Sparta?" I'm like, "I'll help you. I got a bummed leg right now, so I'm doing whatever I can to help him." Not really in a sense of help. He just needs someone to help him coordinate. What is it called? His team around the cage and stuff like that. His events. He picked me up too because I managed a bunch of the floor when championship was here in Colorado. So it's been a crazy, like I said, it's been a crazy journey, especially with Jeff, because something new always pops up, man. At 1 minute we're doing one show, then the next we're doing 2 shows in one day. We just had a show, 2 shows last month. It was a day show, then come an evening show. And we did the perfect mess up. We oversold tickets and forgot to close down the site. So we were overpacked. The fire marshal came in. I think we would have been closed down for sure.
Oh, man. Jeez. That seems like it worked out anyways, but nice, man. So how did you first get involved with One Championship? I know you kind of briefly touched on it there, but how did that go?
So here it all started with me becoming the manager here at the hotel that I'm at right now. Now I'm receiving site tour emails and stuff. So I'm looking through my emails. I look site tour, okay, some LLC, someone from out of state. Okay, cool. Then I see One Championship. I'm like, oh, it's probably the bank here in the United States, One Championship. Then deeper, I'm like, oh crap, Zen, was Mohammed, Chachi. I'm like, no, this is real. So
Wow.
I run downstairs. I told my one of my sales girl, like, hey, you're on this one, champ. Yeah, I just booked them. Like, when they come out, call me, and then we'll get everything set up. So a week or two goes by. Mohammed Razou is the production manager for what's called For One. So he comes out, we start talking, and we didn't talk anything about the room types. We didn't talk anything about anything else. We talked about martial arts, what I can do for him, if I had any people that can work on the sidelines to help the fighters, if I had extra people to help build the cage. That's all we talked about. And I even asked him at the end, do you mind staying with us? You know, like if you can surprise me, I'll stay with your hotel. So I did everything I could. I rounded up all the soldiers I had. I sent him a proposal. Bam, right there. He's like, you'll be staying with you guys in a couple months. Come game day, that's it. The whole hotel was sold out. We had fans, we had fighters, we had CEOs from other companies, we had everybody from all over the world in my hotel. And the
That's
crazy
wild.
part, that 1 week in the hotel industry was slow for everybody. We were the only ones that were able to pick them up.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's like a pretty unconventional career path to like kind of get into the martial arts industry, but seemed like you were prepared, and then when the opportunity presented itself, you jumped on it. So congrats on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. But I'll tell you right now, I was not prepared. I was scared as shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yeah.
fucking terrified. I know if I was talking properly. I was really nervous. I was really,
Hmm.
really nervous.
Yeah, but you put yourself out there, and it worked
Uh,
out. So either way, that's awesome, man. And you mentioned like your role is kind of like coordinating around the cage during the fights and whatnot. Like, can you give me a bit more like in depth of what that looked like?
my whole job was dealing with the fighters managers, pretty much. Which my wife actually took care of that. I had to deal with the ops team, which built the cage and set up
Okay, yeah.
the ring, and then I had to deal with the super fans, which is the VIP section with
Mm,
that everybody comes in. That's on the side of the, what is it called, the fight, or the fighters come out.
yeah.
So my first responsibility was always coming to the hotel, check in with my wife, and make sure the rest of the people were taking care of their fighters. I checked in with her name was Wen at that time. She was also a fighter coordinator. So I would check in with her, make sure everything's okay. Delegated my group to where they needed to go, and then from the hotel, I would at least go. I think it's 10 miles, 15 miles to the Budweiser Event Center, and deal with the ops team right there. And after I did like 15-hour shift of just building a cage, putting wraps all over the stadium, I have to come home, do another 5 hours of social media, connecting with people, constantly see if how many people I can bring in and stuff to fill up those extra spaces.
Mm,
And I mean, that was every day for a whole week as soon as I got here. As soon as it was nonstop, at least maybe 20-hour work week. I wake up at 6, drop my kid off at school. I'm on the phone with people and stuff like that as I'm dropping my kid off at school. Then I come to work, deal with that. And the fighters, I deal with my team, my engineering team, which is another 7 people. And then I leave. So I
mm.
had a hotel, my networking business, also my wife's personal training business, one championship, all going on at once. And I had to make sure
Wow.
everything was fit in a 20-hour day.
That's nuts, man. Yeah, definitely. Like even just putting the cage together, like that's such a big task. People don't realize. Like, uh, I did a bit of like a side business, just like renting out a boxing ring, and it would take like 4 hours just to set up that. And like for the cage,
Yeah.
it's like a whole day event. You need like a foreman, you need all this stuff. I volunteered for this one event with Unified MMA, and I was
Shit.
like doing some of the coordination with the volunteers or whatever, and I had to put some stickers on the cage, like on the corner pads or whatever, and even that's stressful, man. Like one of the
Yeah.
stickers, I peeled it wrong, and then there's a bit of a draft, and the sticker got all messed up. Luckily, we had a spare sticker.
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't realize all the little things that go into putting together a production like that. But yeah, so the event went awesome. Obviously, their first U.S. event, Mighty Mouse, got probably one of the coolest knockouts of all time. Like that's a really sick finish that he got there. Yeah,
Oh
what
yeah.
was the atmosphere like at the event? How was it from your side of things?
For my side of things, it was chaotic, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Everything went for me. I think everything went perfect for the one Champions League. I think I helped them, provide what they wanted. I mean, it was a sold out show. I was regardless of the whole thing, I was excited but still nervous. Like,
Yeah.
wow, we're really pulling this off. Is it gonna turn out well? Is it turning out well? Is it going very good? But I mean, everybody loved it. There was not
Nice.
one person that was dissatisfied about it. There were some people that were pretty skeptical that, oh, they didn't sell out, they're giving out free tickets and stuff. I mean, but we again, the same thing we did at Sparta, we oversold everything and we had to accommodate for everybody there. But it was, yeah, it was breathtaking. It was heartbreaking. It was stressful, but it was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Nice. I bet by the end of it, you were just like, even though how fun it was, you're probably just happy to be done, right?
No, not really. I couldn't wait for it
No?
again, man. That
Yeah.
adrenaline rush, it was insane. Just feeling the energy, not from the fighters, from the people, just
Mm.
loving the show. It was the screams, the hoorays, the everything, man. Just how happy and pumped everybody was to see something different, and it was different. It was completely different, and it was amazing too. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, combat sports, like live sporting events, like there's no other sport that compares. But speaking of like doing something different, I know you're working also with Sparta there, and they did the whole King of Sparta thing, something that almost taking a page out of Chatri's book there with combining the different arts, a little different because it's like for people that don't know, they do like a boxing fight, and then they do a
mhm.
kickboxing fight, and then they do an MMA fight all
Oh
in
yeah,
one night as a tournament style, and then whoever wins is crowned the king of Sparta.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, my buddy, funny enough, Clayton Pye, he is actually won the king of Sparta. He went over there back when he was still
really.
amateur. Yeah, yeah, for the
Oh wow,
welterweight.
man, that's insane. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, small world, but yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even realize at first when I reached out to you, and then I was like looking through your stuff, and I was like, oh no way. Uh, but yeah, how's it been working there, and what kind of like unique challenges does an event like the King of Sparta, where you got a cage as well as a boxing ring, present?
I think it's just the build up and tear down and the way we what is it called, cue the fighters. But again, my wife is really good at doing that. She set up a system back there and now they're following it. But it's the same thing. It's almost the same thing as one championship because it's chaotic.
Hmm.
And the crazy part is it's the underdogs. It's the underdogs no one's picked up yet that are fighting in Sparta. It's the crazy fighters that UFC should have grabbed, that LFA should have grabbed, and even that one champion should be grabbing right now. And I'm not even like Factory X, High Altitude, and Genesis is where I'm from too as well. We have the top fighters in the world right now. At least we can say that at the moment. We have Usam, we have Marcus Edwards, we have also just a Gagey that we play around with every now and then, and then what's his name? Chris Kamosi too, who's also doing the bare knuckles and stuff like that. I mean, our gym has grown a lot in this past 2 years, but because of that, Sparta's also taken a big interest in us, and we have a lot of the amateur fighters who just went pro. And I thank Jeff a lot for allowing my team to show what they can do, especially since I'm out of the ranks right now, so I'm injured. But yeah, it's crazy with Jeff, especially that King of Sparta. The I think the main challenge is finding the people who are not afraid to stand and bang. Because
Yeah,
I mean that's what we love here in America. And we want to see a firefight. We want to see people
yeah,
stand up and just sit there and bang it out. Who's the toughest guy? Who's gonna And that's what Jeff even said in one of his things because we had someone, LC Nelson. No one wanted to stand and bang with that guy because every time they did MMA, they would take him to the ground. So Jeff just
yeah.
said, like, I need to figure out how to make these guys stand and bang with my top fighters. So he's like, I'm going to do something called the King of Sparta. And boom, it went out. I think I fought on one of their first shows. I wasn't in the tournament, but I was actually boxing, kickboxing. That didn't end well. I got hit in the back of the head and knocked out. But
Oh,
the whole tournament was fucking amazing, man. The
yeah.
first time we put it out there, it was insane.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's cool too because like, it's like a way. Like if you win the tournament, it's a way for an amateur fighter to get a good payday. Like, usually you can't get any money from fighting as an amateur. But Clayton got a nice little fight bonus there, which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, what's it like working with Jeff? I watched a bit of that promo you guys did for the 100th event you did, and it sounds like he has a crazy story. For those of you that don't know, like I think it was like he had $500 to pay for
Yeah.
the sanctioning, but it was $600, so he was like collecting cans to get
Yeah,
that
man.
last $100, like uh, a real grinder and like a real come up story. And now he's got like 8 businesses and stuff. What's it like working with him, and what's your relationship like there?
Our relationship, I mean, it's friend and business and stuff like that. Um, but we're mostly strictly on business.
Mm,
He started an electrical company, which his brother runs at the moment, and they do a lot of work in my hotel. And of course, I network for him as much as possible to get him other properties, and as well as promote his other businesses. Because at the end, like you said, he started off at 500, needed 600, sold cans, and then hearing that story too when I first met him, it's like, bro, I started off at nothing. I was literally homeless 12 years ago and busted my ass off. I had $50 in my pocket. And I came up with a bunch of fucking money, paid my child support off, got an apartment, started working at the hotel I'm at for the past 8 years, started meeting people. And just his story when I first met him is like, so you started off with 600, I started off with 50. I'm now where I'm at because of your story,
mm,
because I see how hard you busted your ass off. I can do the same thing, and that's all I've been doing. I've been just working and working diligently. I mean, I have a family too of entrepreneurs. I said my wife, she looks a little bit up to Jeff too. She has her own personal training business. My son Dante, my physical, what is it called? My biological son. He's a salesman. He'll take a box of Starburst and sell the strip for $20 and come home with 500 fucking dollars, man.
that's
My
nuts.
yeah, and
The
then my
American
stepson.
the
Yeah,
American dream is still alive.
yeah, man, American Dream's still alive. And these
That's
kids,
cool.
my biological son, he's 15 years old. And then my stepson, he knows a lot about nutrition, and he's selling people like nutrition advice. He's making $200-300 a week. So it's like the whole family's in it. My daughters are little salesmen and stuff like, but she does it in a really messed up way for my wife, because she'll have clients and she'll be like, well, if you don't want to stay fat, I mean, I suggest you buy my mom's products or tell her to have your son. Like, whoa, calm the fuck down, like relax. Like, well, I'm not fat anymore, and it's thanks to my mom. So if they want to
Jeez.
die soon, that's up to them. Like, wait, hold up. Like, oh no, we'll
Oh,
get the package. Well, don't worry, we'll get the package. They just find it cute, but I mean, the whole family, man, the whole family.
nice. That's awesome, man. Uh, and kind of transitioning back to your involvement with One Championship, I saw your LinkedIn post that they're going to be doing it at the Baller Arena, right? The
Mhm.
home of the Denver Nuggets, Colorado Avalanches. What kind of different challenges and what kind of different opportunities does a new big venue like that present?
So that one's gonna be hard to fill. And I have a like, and I have that conversation with one of the co-founders on March 22nd, because I'm actually meeting with him, and he's actually getting rooms here at my hotel. So I'm gonna be meeting with him because that ball arena, yeah, we filled out First Bank Center. That's cool. No, I filled it out. I helped him out with that. But because we're having international fighters come in, a bunch of the fans are gonna love that. But we also need what is it called? Some local fighters. And
Hmm.
with Jeff in there, and again, I'll bring him up. He's got a lot of connections on top of mine, because I was able to fill at least maybe 1,200 to 5,000 people into the what's it called First Bank Stadium. But to fill the Ball Arena, I guarantee it's 20,000. Okay, I guarantee they'll bring in 10,000 from international, maybe a couple local people. But to really have a solid sellout and even go beyond that, we have to have some local fighters. We have to
Hmm.
have them. And that's something I have to stress out to one of the co-founders coming in on March 22nd. Um, I mean, but other than that, I think we'll be fine. It would be more of a ground control, but they're really good at providing me some extra security if I need it. But other than that, I think we'll be okay. Just the only challenge is filling up that stadium. I know we will. It's
Right.
just a message. I'm even asking the co-founder too, like, hey, can you give me a little insight, maybe a little fucking candy that I can throw to people? What is a title fight gonna look like? Can we at least try to get Stamp, or at least maybe even Haggerty versus Raw Tang again? Because that would be something awesome to
Yeah.
see. I would actually like to see Superlek and Haggerty, because I mean,
Hmm.
Raw Tang, yeah, it'd be a nice comeback, but Superlek and Haggerty, Superlek just took the title. Haggerty right there too. So let's see what two more giants can clash.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And yeah, it was crazy the last event you guys did in the States, like that you were involved with the first one, because that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the first event that they did where it was with Amazon Prime, right?
No, I think they've been
No?
doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think they've been doing a lot of stuff. Because when Razul came out, he asked me, like, hey, do you watch your shows? Do you have an app? I told him, I watch this shit every fucking Friday, man. It's on Amazon. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. I mean, I don't believe it was their first time. I think it was their
Okay,
first time in America that they used Amazon to promote this stuff,
I
you
see.
know. Because other than that, it was crazy because they went from being the 10th most watched sport to becoming the, I think, second now under the Olympics.
That's nuts. Yeah, and with that, like that Asian market's obviously huge, so that's massive. And they kind of like started out with North America. They're putting everything out for free on YouTube, and then there's a nice kind of transition into streaming Amazon's there on Amazon there for sure. And now we got I don't know if you saw the WWE is going to be doing some stuff on Netflix, so it's cool to see
Yeah.
that whole kind of streaming like platform start accepting and taking on more martial arts. But what do you see like long term? Like what's next for your career? Where do you want to go next?
So I want to stay in this hotel industry because of the
Mm-hmm.
connections that I'm getting. I met one championship.
Yeah,
I want to try to see if I can meet Dana White one day.
yeah,
I want to meet a lot of the promoters. It's just to network. I mean, I don't mind staying this 9 to 5 job just because it's not the money. It just brings me a bunch of people. I connect with a bunch of people. And I mean, the way everything's evolving, like you said, with technology and stuff, even the way we do performances, you got one championship with Amazon, now you have WWE with Netflix. It's like everything's changing. And I
yeah.
mean, if around here right now in my office, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens along with my phone. I'm constantly talking to people. I'm playing chess. I'm networking. I'm doing my payrolls. I'm making videos for my wife's business. I'm teaching my son how to sell stuff at school. We're texting him. And like I'm not stop. I literally don't stop.
Nice. I love to hear it. And I guess how did you get involved in the networking business? Could you tell me a bit more about that?
It fell into my lap, to be honest with you. It just fell into my lap. I wasn't even ever thinking of doing that. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to jump in a cage, beat people up, come back out, live in a fucking Palm Beach and shit, and just relax the rest of my life. But I I saw an opportunity, and again, it's the same thing I'll mention again Andrew Tate and stuff. I've watched a lot of his videos before joining a school and connecting with a bunch of his professors. That mindset that he's bringing out to a bunch of people, I mean, that helped me a lot because during that time, I ended up losing my father. I ended up losing a father figure. Forgot what brotherhood felt like, and just hearing that man trying to put everything make sense back to like I can't be the boy I was before and try to like do different things and cry and all that stuff. And that's what I was, and I'm not gonna lie about it. I was very emotional after my father died, but that right there, what he said transpired me to just talk to people, and the way he was networking, I'm like, you know what? I want to try to do something like that, but I need to find somewhere to network. I was trying to do networking in construction, trying to do networking in like maybe computer, IT, and that's not something I was good at. I just wanted to network. And then after one championship came and that fell in my lap, I started just talking to people, randomly just talking to people. And then that started bringing people in. And it was weird. It was weird. Like, okay, I'll just stick to fighting. I'll stick to talking to people, and I'll just figure out, see where that takes me. And it's gone pretty crazy. I mean, shit, I'm meeting you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And so you cut out a bit there, but I heard most of it. My condolences about your father. That sucks. But yeah, man, it's crazy like what a conversation can lead to. And that's
Yeah,
the whole
man,
reason like that I'm starting this podcast too is, just
it's insane.
not even to make like a big podcast or whatever, like everybody and their brother has a podcast, right? But I just want to use it as like a tool to network with people, and then if it can help some other people as well, then
Yeah,
well, I think the connection is kind of falling off here, so maybe we should wrap it here. But I guess last question for you, like any advice for people, who are maybe struggling, like who have big dreams but don't know how to get there yet, and you and Jeff have some inspirational stories.
I mean, the only advice I would really give anybody, um, it would be, don't be scared. The moment you see something scary, jump. And whatever God you believe in, follow that.
Hmm.
I've gotten a lot of backlash and stuff like that because I say I'm a Christian now, and I've got a lot of friends who got backlash because they're a different kind of religion. But if you follow your God and you do what you're supposed to, and you ask, you will receive. You will definitely receive. Follow God with all your heart. Do what's right. Do what's right for you, your family, and the people that are trying to connect with you and do right by you. I would just keep that. Keep your faith. Praise God for every good thing that happens. I mean, like even before this meeting, I was so happy. I was praying and stuff like that. So I would just stay strong to your faith. That's what I would give advice to everybody. And if it seems scary, pray and jump.
Praise God. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Amen,
Well,
man.
we'll wrap it there. Thank you so much, Miguel.
My pleasure, brother. Just let me know when you ever want to get back on and stuff.
Amazing. Sounds great.